The Watchers by a.m.shine. Part 1. Mina, a talented artist struggling to make ends meet and supplementing her income with card games, finds herself facing financial hardship. Desperate for money, she accepts a peculiar job from Peter, a regular at her local pub. The task: deliver a valuable golden conure parrot to a buyer in the isolated region of Connemara. Equipped with only a tattered, unreliable map and vague directions, Mina sets off on a journey that quickly becomes a nightmare. The roads deteriorate into treacherous paths, her car breaks down, leaving her stranded and alone in the desolate, eerie landscape. As darkness falls, an unearthly shriek pierces the silence, sending chills down Mina's spine and driving her to seek refuge in her car. Unsure of what lurks in the surrounding darkness, she huddles in fear, the silence broken only by the frantic fluttering of the parrot in its cage. Morning brings a measure of relief, revealing a dense, ominous forest nearby. With no other option for finding help, Mina decides to venture into the woods, carrying the parrot's cage and feeling an unexpected kinship with the captive bird, both prisoners of circumstance. After hours of walking through the silent, oppressive forest, Mina stumbles upon a building with a single light offering a beacon of hope. A gaunt woman named Madeline urgently ushers her inside, just as the chilling screams from the previous night return, echoing through the trees. Inside the stark, concrete structure, Mina meets Daniel, a young man burdened by a troubled past, and Ciara, a heartbroken young woman mourning the recent loss of her husband John, who ventured into the forest seeking help and never returned, leaving Ciara shattered and clinging to hope. Madeline unveils the horrifying truth of their situation. The forest is inhabited by creatures she calls the Watchers, who emerge from underground burrows at night and prey on anyone they find. The building, with its thick glass walls and powerful light, is their only sanctuary from the Watchers' nocturnal hunts. Mina struggles to accept this terrifying reality, but the evidence, the scars on the building, the fear etched on Madeline and Daniel's faces, and the blood-curdling screams outside is undeniable. They settle into a routine of survival, each playing their part. Daniel sets traps for birds, their primary source of sustenance, while Madeline maintains order with an iron fist and a strict set of rules designed to keep them alive. Ciara, consumed by grief, withdraws into herself, her spirit slowly diminishing with each passing day. Mina, however, refuses to succumb to despair. She studies the forest, the Watchers' behavior, and the patterns of their burrows, convinced there must be a way to escape the clutches of this living nightmare. One night, John's desperate screams pierce the night, drawing Ciara to the window, her hope reignited. Madeline, however, refuses to open the door, believing John is beyond saving, and opening the door would endanger them all. John's screams abruptly stop, leaving Ciara devastated and the others burdened with guilt, their decision to remain safe forever etched in their memories. Part 2. Time passes, marked by hardship and the constant threat of the Watchers lurking just beyond the safety of their concrete haven. Mina continues her observations, discovering a pattern in the placement of the burrows. They form a perfect circle around the building, hinting at a deeper, more sinister purpose than mere random hunting grounds. When Daniel, pushed to his breaking point by Madeline's harsh treatment and overwhelmed by the oppressive atmosphere, impulsively steals her keys and locks her and Mina out of the building just as the light comes on, signaling the Watchers' emergence, they are forced to hide in the dark corridor, narrowly escaping the creature's clutches. This harrowing experience solidifies the bond between Mina and Madeline, while simultaneously highlighting the vulnerability of their situation and reinforcing the urgency to escape. Upon returning to the building, they make a remarkable discovery: a hidden hatch beneath the floor, concealed beneath the very table where they share their meager meals. Daniel, following Madeline's orders and driven by a desperate need to redeem himself, smashes through the concrete, revealing a secret bunker, a steel shipping container outfitted with supplies, technology, and a video recording left by its creator, Professor David Kilmartin, offering a glimpse into the past and a potential path to their future. The video unveils Kilmartin's story, his obsession with the Watchers, driven by a thirst for knowledge and a desire to understand the creatures that had haunted folklore for centuries. It details the construction of the bunker, a testament to his meticulous planning and desperate hope for survival, and his descent into despair as he realized the futility of his research and the horror he had unleashed by drawing the Watchers' attention and inadvertently providing them with the tools to perfect their mimicry. Despite the grim reality of his situation, Kilmartin provides a glimmer of hope, detailing an escape route via a river and a hidden boat to the south, a path to freedom that may offer salvation for those who dare to follow in his footsteps. With renewed purpose and a flicker of hope illuminating their bleak existence, they prepare to leave the confines of the coop and venture into the unknown. However, the Watchers, enraged by the previous night's events and the defiance of their captives, launch a ferocious attack, their screams tearing through the night as they nearly break through the reinforced glass and the heavily barricaded door. Thinking quickly and working together, Mina and Ciara use the heavy wooden table to further secure the door, inadvertently uncovering the hatch to the bunker in the process. They escape underground just in time, taking refuge in Kilmartin's sanctuary as the Watchers' frustrated screams reverberate above, a constant reminder of the danger that awaits them should they ever return to the surface. Part 3. The next morning, the devastation wrought by the Watchers is evident. The building that once served as their sanctuary is now in ruins, its walls scarred and broken, a testament to the creatures' fury and a stark reminder of the danger they face. Despite the harsh winter conditions and the uncertainty of Kilmartin's escape route, they decide to attempt the journey, driven by a desperate hope for freedom and a yearning for a life beyond the Watchers' reach. Following Kilmartin's instructions and Madeline's compass, the sole guide in this uncharted territory, they embark on a grueling journey south, battling the unforgiving terrain, the biting cold, and their own exhaustion, both physical and emotional, as they push themselves to their limits. Along the way, they discover a hidden stone doorway, intricately carved with ancient symbols and weathered by centuries of exposure to the elements. It is believed to be the original prison of the Watchers, a portal to the underworld where they were banished long ago, their existence fading into folklore and myth. Madeline reveals that she, like Kilmartin before her, came to the forest seeking answers, drawn by the legends and stories passed down through generations. She learned to survive in this hostile environment, adapting to the Watchers' ways, mimicking their abilities, and ultimately becoming one of them, while simultaneously retaining a semblance of her humanity. As darkness approaches, casting long shadows through the trees and painting the sky with hues of impending doom, they finally reach the river, just as the Watchers' blood-curdling screams fill the air, signaling the start of their hunt. Following Kilmartin's instructions, they locate the hidden boat, tucked away beneath a shroud of earth and leaves, their potential vessel to freedom and their last hope for survival. In a desperate scramble, they work together to unearth the boat and prepare for their escape. However, amidst the chaos and urgency, they realize that Daniel is missing. Mina, her heart pounding with a mixture of fear and determination, rushes back towards the forest, desperate to find Daniel and unwilling to abandon him to the horrors that await. She discovers him standing at the edge of the trees, seemingly entranced face to face with a Watcher that bears the familiar features of John, Ciara's deceased husband. The creature's presence is a cruel mockery, a twisted manipulation of Daniel's empathy and Ciara's grief. Realizing the imminent danger and the futility of intervention, Mina retreats, her voice a broken whisper as she urges Daniel to run, leaving him behind as the Watchers emerge from the darkness, their forms silhouetted against the dying light. They escape down the river, the current pulling them towards an uncertain future, as they watch in horror as the Watchers surround Daniel, each wearing his own face, a grotesque spectacle designed to break his spirit and shatter his sense of self. His screams are abruptly silenced, leaving Ciara heartbroken and the others burdened with the guilt of their escape and the trauma of witnessing such a horrific scene. Part 4. The river, their ally in this desperate flight for survival, carries them further and further away from the horrors of the forest, the Watchers' screams fading into a distant echo of the nightmare they left behind. Exhausted and emotionally drained, they eventually reach civilization, where they flag down a bus and return to the familiar streets of Galway, a city that now feels both foreign and comforting. Mina, recognizing Ciara's fragile state and the shared trauma that binds them, offers her a place to stay in her modest apartment, a sanctuary from the memories that haunt them both. The return to normalcy is a difficult and arduous process. Mina, haunted by the memories of the forest and the faces of those they lost, struggles to reintegrate into society. The sights and sounds of the city, once so familiar, now seem overwhelming, triggering flashbacks of the horrors they endured. Every face in the crowd becomes a potential threat, every shadow a hiding place for the watchers. Despite the challenges, Mina knows she must fulfill her promise to kill Martin and ensure the safety of those who remain oblivious to the danger lurking in the shadows. She visits the university, her heart heavy with the weight of her task to destroy Kilmartin's research, hoping to prevent others from suffering the same fate and inadvertently leading the Watchers out of their wooded prison and into the world beyond. However, amidst the stacks of papers and files, she discovers a photograph of Kilmartin with his wife Madeline, the same Madeline who guided them through the forest, shared their hardships, and ultimately secured their escape. The librarian, her eyes filled with a mix of sadness and admiration, reveals that Madeline died 5 years ago, a victim of a relentless illness, leaving Kilmartin heartbroken and alone. The revelation strikes Mina like a bolt of lightning, shattering her understanding of their ordeal and exposing the true depth of the Watcher's manipulative abilities. She realizes the horrifying truth. The Madeline who helped them escape was a changeling, a Watcher who had perfectly mimicked the professor's deceased wife, exploiting his grief and using her disguise to infiltrate their group, learn their secrets, and ensure their silence. Panic sets in as Mina rushes home to warn Ciara, fearing for her safety and regretting her decision to leave her alone. But it's too late. Madeline has already broken into the house, her strength and determination evident in the shattered door, seeking the camera Ciara found in the forest, a potential piece of evidence that could expose the Watchers' existence and threaten their carefully constructed facade. A tense confrontation ensues, revealing Madeline's true form, a grotesque, inhuman creature with elongated limbs, sharp claws, and a face devoid of emotion. Despite the fear that grips her, Mina stands her ground, pleading for Ciara's life and promising to keep their secret, to bury the truth of the Watchers deep within the recesses of their memories. Madeline, her expression unreadable, considers Mina's plea. After a tense silence that stretches into an eternity, she relents, releasing Ciara and disappearing into the night, leaving them shaken but alive. In the aftermath of their encounter with Madeline, Mina and Ciara try to rebuild their lives, forever bound by the horrors they shared, the loss of John and Daniel, and the knowledge that the Watchers remain a constant threat, hidden within the fabric of society, their true nature concealed behind stolen faces. Mina, forever changed by her experience, continues to struggle with the trauma, the paranoia, and the knowledge that she may never truly be free from the Watcher's watchful eyes. The end. If you enjoyed this audio summary, please consider liking this video and subscribing to get notified when we post our next summary.